Hi, this is Dr. Cara Gubbins of the Animal Wisdom Circle and drcaragubbins.com, and this is your May 2017 forecast. And I'm just shuffling the deck here. We've got the Animal Wisdom Oracle card deck that we're working with, so we're going to get some guidance from the animals on what the energy is for the month of May. So here are the three cards that we are looking at, and I seem to always put them more to the right than where I put the camera. So this is just looking at the energy of the whole milieu that we're in and what's going on and how it's going to affect us. So we're starting with the hawk and moving through the hummingbird. I love this pattern already. And then finally the snake. So this is a super interesting pattern. And when I look at these cards, what I'm sensing for this month is that this is not a past, present, future like I've been doing the last couple of months, but this is really the beginning of the month. We're in this hawk energy, and this is where we have this very determined, single-minded focus. Everything else kind of seems to fall away because we have our eyes on the prize. And so if you're finding yourself being that way and going like, gosh, why am I, not more social, or not really doing these other things, or I'm not doing the things that I usually do, just know that the energy right now is really promoting that focus, that vision, that clarity, and that single-mindedness. It's really a good time for you to work on that one project. The other stuff will get done in its time, but right now, whatever that project is that really grabs you, that's the one to be working on. And the hawk energy is also very mental. It's a very, very mental kind of an energy. So this is probably going to be a project that is something that is intellectual, or something you're working on, or something that you have to think about a lot. So the beginning of the month is really going to be that hawk energy of looking at one project and really being very single-minded about it. And when you come out of that, because that's kind of part of the whole flow of life, is we have these different periods. So coming out of that is the hummingbird, and the hummingbird is so much about experiencing life and tasting the sweetness of life and really savoring it. And in fact, the hummingbird said, her message to people was to travel the world and really savor the sweetness of all the variety of sweetnesses that there are in the world. So the hummingbird is much more about interacting with the world. The hawk is about not interacting with the world. The hawk is about being focused and on that one thing that is yours. But the hummingbird is about being in the world. So you might feel like you're kind of solitary and introverted in the beginning of the month, and then you're going to come out of that and be more out in the world and moving through the world and seeing all these different things, experiencing all these different things, and most likely interacting with people again. And then as we move towards the end of May, the snake energy comes in, and this is, the snake, the gift is the primal aliveness, but the message that's really resonating for me in terms of this month of May is it's time to really sink even deeper into who you are. The snake doesn't try to be anything other than who he is. And it reminds me of a snake that I met when I was training for a 5K and with a group, and we were doing laps around these soccer fields, and there was a snake in the grass on the side of the path who was just like, what the heck is going on here? What are all these people? What's all this pounding? And, he kind of came out of the grass and lifted his head and looked a little bit bewildered but curious and interested when people would go by. And I just stopped and watched him for a while. The snake is really about being aware of your world and knowing who you are in it. So not trying to be anything other than what you are. There's no artifice. There's no show. There's nothing other in the snake. That energy is just really authentic. The snake that I met when I was running was just really sincerely in that moment like, whoa, what's going on? I'm curious. He wasn't trying to be tough. He was seriously interested. And that's what the snake is all about. So it might be a little bit of a bumpy journey. I'm hoping that it's kind of a little bit mellower, because these three energies are really distinctly different. And so it may feel like, gosh, I've got multiple personality disorder or something like that. Like, who am I? Am I this introverted, focused person? Am I this exploring, outgoing person interacting with the world? And then what you're left with is, yes, I'm all of these things. I can be all this. I can express myself in all these different ways. And ultimately, the gift of me is being myself. And this is, what's really true is each of us is a gift. We're each a piece of the puzzle. And all we're here to do is really be ourselves. We get a lot of conditioning from society and, different teachings and different things people say to us, our conditioning as we grow up, that being just ourselves isn't enough or it's not okay. But ultimately, our spiritual gift is being ourselves. And some of us have to return to that, and I'm including myself in that category, that we have to kind of refine who we are. And so I think this month is really about knowing yourself a little bit better, seeing more sides of yourself, and knowing that whether you're introverted or extroverted or focused or not focused, you're still yourself. Ultimately, you're coming home to yourself. And this month is about really, really knowing yourself on a different level. And I think it's a level of more self-acceptance, a level of really embracing all the good, the bad, and the ugly of being a human being, and just knowing you can be cranky sometimes, you can be dismissive sometimes, you could be expressive, you could be gentle, you can be all these things, and they're all part of you being yourself. So finding greater and greater self-awareness and self-expression throughout the month. I think the energy this month is kind of taking us by the hand for a little tour of who we are and what we're here to do. So there we are for the month of May. That's the energy that I see unfolding. I'm really curious if you see something in the cards that that speaks to you in a different way. I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. Definitely share. I'm always interested in hearing different interpretations and different ways of seeing things. And as the month goes by, please check back in and let me know how it's going, if you're experiencing the hawk and then the hummingbird and coming home to your snake authenticity. And please like and share the video, really trying to spread the word, the wisdom of the animals. And so if this was helpful to you, just click like. And if you know somebody else who loves animals and wants to get closer to them and get their guidance, please share. Have a beautiful month, and I will connect with you next time. Bye.